How are you guys doing? It is Monday, August 24th, 2020, out here in this quarantine. I'm James Sims, and for this episode of The Elite, I'm going to take you through what happened yesterday in terms of Sunday sports. There was a lot that happened yesterday, and I'll also fill you in on baseball standings and what to look forward to today. So first out, I'm going to start off with the game of the day. Of course, the UEFA Champions League final was played yesterday in a neutral location. No, just so it was just one leg. PSG, Paris Saint-Germain, led by Neymar, Mbappe. Those are the two incredibly elite players that I've listed on that team. They faced off against Bayern Munich. And it was a hard-fought game for most of it. I mean, there were no goals scored in the first half. The only goal that was scored in the game was scored by Kingsley Coman in the 59th minute off of an assist from Joshua Kimmich. That would go off the head of Kingsley Coman and would basically seal the game for Bayern. On the other end, elite, all-time, GOAT performance from Bayern Munich's GOAT level goalie Manuel Neuer. And with this save, with this win, Bayern has won its second treble of the decade. Manuel Neuer has won Manuel Neuer is one of the few guys that's won Champions League twice on this roster. Robert Lewandowski wins it the first time, and he led Champions League in goals, scoring in all but the last and final game. I imagine their Bundesliga season is going to start incredibly soon, but this season is officially over. They've officially now won the Bundesliga, the Deutsche Football, or the German Domestic Cup title, and now they've officially won Champions League to cap off an amazing 2019-20 season, which may go down as one of the greatest soccer seasons of all time. So that's soccer. That's everything that happened with Champions League yesterday. Starting off at the first game of the night, the Boston Celtics, the 3-seed Boston Celtics, were able to sweep the 6-seed Philadelphia 76ers after beating them 110-106 last night in Philadelphia's last game of the season. For Philadelphia, Alec Burks would come in big off the bench, finishing with 13 points in 30 minutes. He shot 6 for 16 from the field. Going through the starters, Shake Milton finished with 14 points, 4 rebounds, an assist, a steal, and he shot 5 for 11 from the field, 2 for 6 from 3, and 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Josh Richardson, their other guard, would finish with 14 points. He shot 2 for 10 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3, 8 for 9 from the free throw line. He finished with 3 rebounds and 5 assists as well. Tobias Harris, their small forward, finished with 20 points in 35 minutes as he shot 7 for 12 from the field, coming back from a face injury where he was bleeding in the game. He finished shooting 2 for 5 from 3. He made all 4 of his free throws, and with his 20 points, he had 5 rebounds and 2 assists. Al Horford, the 76ers power forward who played for the Celtics for a bit, he finished with 12 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 assists. He shot 6 for 10 from the field, 0 for 1 from 3, 0 for 1 from the free throw line. And the Philadelphia 76ers' big performance of the night will come from their elite center, Joel Embiid, who in his last game of the 2019-2020 season finished with 30 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. He shot 8 for 18 from the field in 37 minutes. He shot 1 for 5 from 3 and made 13 of his 18 free throw attempts. Now going on to the Celtics, as they're more than likely going to face off against the winner of the Raptors and the Nets, which, I mean, I haven't gotten to, but it was the Raptors. So they're going to face off against the Raptors. I have no idea when that game is scheduled, but I'll get back when they do. For them, Jaylen Brown finished with 16 points. He shot 6 for 15 from the field, 2 for 9 from 3. Daniel Tice, their center, would finish with 15 points and 4 rebounds. He shot 6 for 12. Their elite point guard, Kemba Walker, would finish with 32 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks. As he shot 8 for 15 from the field, 4 for 9 from 3, and he made 12 of his 13 free throw attempts. Jaylen Brown, like I said, he finished with 16 on the day. And Jason Tatum, their elite forward, would finish with 28 points, 15 rebounds, and 4 assists. He shot 10 for 18 from the field, 2 for 5 from 3, 6 for 10 from the free throw line. And once again, the Boston Celtics advance. This is Kemba Walker's first playoff series win. And this is the first time ever in history that the Boston Celtics have swept the Philadelphia 76ers in their long and historic franchise histories. And this is an amazing team effort on the sweep. The MVP goes to Jason Tatum, at least for this series. Now jumping to the second game, jumping out to the west side of the bubble. The Dallas Mavericks hosted the LA Clippers, and they were able to tie the series at 2 after beating the Clippers 135-133 in overtime off an amazing play. Starting with the Clippers, big performance for the Clippers off the bench from their shooting guard Lou Williams, who in 34 minutes finished with 36 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal. He shot 13 for 20 from the field, 2 for 4 from the 3 line, and he went 8 for 9 from the free throw line. Additionally, Ivica Zubac would finish with 15 points and 4 rebounds. The Los Angeles Clippers elite shooting guard Paul George would play 45 minutes. He finished with 9 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. He shot 3 for 14 from the field, 1 for 7 from 3, and he made his 2 free throw attempts. The big performance on the night for the Clippers, they lost by 2. Like Paul George had 9, they still lost by 2. Kawhi Leonard finished with 32 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a block. He shot 10 for 22 from the field as he played 47 minutes. He shot 3 for 9 from 3, and he made 9 of his 10 free throw attempts. But it just wasn't enough as the Mavericks overtook them yet again. Seth Curry off the bench would finish with 15 points as he shot 6 for 9 from the field. Boban Marjanovic finished with 10 points and 7 rebounds in 16 minutes. Trey Burke, the point guard from, I want to say Michigan, finished with 25 points or 5 rebounds. He shot 10 for 14 from the field, 4 for 5 from 3. Tim Hardaway Jr., their shooting guard, finished with 21 points in 35 minutes, 8 for 18 from the field. But Luka Doncic, the Dallas Mavericks elite level shooting guard, of course, would finish with the play of the night. In 46 minutes, he finished with 43 points, 17 rebounds, 13 assists, minus 7 turnovers. He still had 2 steals and a block. He shot 18 for 31 from the field, 4 for 10 from the 3-point line, and he made 3 of his 5 free throws. And with this win, the 7-seed Dallas Mavericks have evened the series with the number 2 seed LA Clippers. They evened it at 2. Both teams are now 2 wins away from possibly clinching the playoff, from clinching, getting a chance to play the winner of Utah and Denver. But before we get to that, I'm going to jump to the third game of the day and the second series that was ended. The second seed Toronto Raptors were able to sweep the 7th seed in the East, the Brooklyn Nets, after beating them 150-122 in Brooklyn's official last game of the season. In their last game of the season, first off, they had a big performance from their shooting guard, Zana Musa, who finished with 12 points on the night. Additionally, their shooting guard Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot would finish with 11 points, 3 rebounds and an assist, along with a steal in his last game as he shot 2 for 12 from the field, 2 for 9 from the 3-point line, but made all 5 of his free throws. Jared Allen, their really good young center, finished with 8 points, 15 rebounds, and 2 blocks in 25 minutes. Their shooting guard, Garrett Temple, would finish with 10 points, 2 assists, shooting 4 for 9 from the field in 32 minutes. Tyler Johnson, their shooting guard, would finish with 13 points on 13 shot attempts with 3 rebounds and an assist. Their big performance of the night will come from their shooting guard, Karis LeVert, out of Michigan, who in 31 minutes finished with 35 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists, 2 steals on the night. He shot 11 for 23 from the field. He shot 6 for 9 from 3 range, and he made 7 of his 10 free throw attempts. And as of right now, the Nets are officially out of the playoffs, and the Toronto Raptors will get to advance. For the Raptors, big performances off their bench. First off, Kyle Lowry had to walk off after 9 minutes because of a possible ankle sprain in the first quarter. He left with 2 points, 2 rebounds, and 3 assists after 9 minutes played. But additionally, Pascal Siakam, their elite power forward, would finish with 20 points, 6 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 steals. He went 9 for 22 from the field, finished 1 for 7 from 3. But of course, with that performance, he had an amazing all-around performance throughout this series, and in this first round series, I'd say Pascal Siakam was the MVP. But big performances, like I said, for the Raptors off the bench. Terrence Davis would finish with 14 points, 4 rebounds in 24 minutes. Their shooting guard, Matt Thomas, would finish with 12 points on the night in 25 minutes. He shot 5 for 6. Serge Ibaka, their center off the bench, in 20 minutes would finish with 27 points and 15 rebounds. He shot 12 for 14 from the field, 3 for 3 from the 3 line. And then Norman Powell also had 29 points off the bench, shooting 9 for 14, 5 for 9 from 3, and making all 6 of his free throws. And along with his 29, he had 5 rebounds, an assist, and 2 steals, and also a block as well. And with this win, like I just said, the Raptors will advance to play against the Boston Celtics, more than likely. I imagine it's already set. And the Brooklyn Nets, just like the Philadelphia 76ers, their season ends today. And then last but not least, moving on to the last playoff game of the night. The 6th seed Utah Jazz were able to get the best of the 3rd seed Denver Nuggets for the 3rd game of the series. Now they lead 3-1. I'm looking at the Nuggets, of course. Their power forward Paul Millsap would finish with 16 points, 7 rebounds, and 4 assists, along with 2 blocks in 35 minutes. Their elite center Nikola Jokic would play 39 minutes. He'd finish with 29 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. He shot 12 for 24 from the field, 3 for 10 from 3, and he made both of his free throws. The elite performance of the night for the Denver Nuggets would come from their point guard Jamal Murray, who in 43 minutes would score 50 points and also add an 11 rebounds, 7 assists, and a block. He shot 18 for 31 from the field, 9 for 15 from 3. He made all 5 of his free throws. And after scoring 50 points in 43 minutes, his name will be added to the elite list before the next season starts. He's that elite. I will get to him. But going on to the Utah Jazz, big performances, of course. Rudy Gobert would finish with 17 points, 11 rebounds, and he would have the defensive stop on Jamal Murray to secure the win for the Utah Jazz. Additionally, their point guard Mike Conley would finish with 26 points and 4 assists, 8 for 13 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3, made all 6 of his free throws. Off the bench, Jordan Clarkson would prove to be very productive. He would score 24 points in 27 minutes, adding in 3 rebounds. He shot 9 for 13 from the field, 4 for 7 from 3. And the big performance of the night of the game would come from elite shooting guard Donovan Mitchell, who would score his second 50-point game of the series. He finished with 51 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists, only 4 turnovers. He shot 15 for 27 from the field in 38 minutes. He shot 4 for 7 from 3, and he made 17 of his 18 free throw attempts, only missed 1. With this win, like I said, the Jazz are now 1 game away from upsetting the 3 seed Denver Nuggets. And that's pretty much what was going on with basketball yesterday. Here's what to look forward to today as series are ending. As of right now, as of Monday, August 24th, there are 14 teams that currently remain as the Philadelphia 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets have been eliminated. At 1:30, the Milwaukee Bucks face off against the Orlando Magic as the Bucks lead that series 2-1. On TNT, the Houston Rockets, the 4th seed Houston Rockets will take on the 5th seed Oklahoma City Thunder. On TNT as the Houston Rockets lead that series 2-1. The Indiana Pacers look to avoid getting swept against the Miami Heat as those 2 teams face off at 6:30. The Heat are the 5 seed and they're leading this series 3-0. And the last game of the night, the Los Angeles Lakers lead the Trailblazers 2-1. The Trailblazers are looking to even up that series tonight at TNT as LeBron James and Anthony Davis take on Damian Lillard in this 7-point matchup. But of course, that's something to look forward to. Right now, I'm going to jump out to the WNBA bubble just to give you a little bit of insight to show you what's going on over there. In terms of yesterday's games, the Atlanta Dream were able to beat the Minnesota Lynx last night and get their 3rd win of the season. Benijah Laney finished with 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 10 assists to help the Dream get. Now they're 3-11 on the season, as they gave the Lynx their 4th loss of the season. The LA Sparks were able to beat the Dallas Wings yesterday, 84-81. Candace Parker led the way with 22 points and 14 rebounds. And last but not least, the Phoenix Mercury, led by Diana Taurasi, would beat the Mystics by 88-87. Diana Taurasi would score 34 points, and I think she dedicated the performance to Kobe. But that was what happened yesterday. There's no WNBA today. But right now I'm going to jump into this NHL bracket to give you a little bit of insight of what's been going on in that bubble, because those playoffs are also still going on. They're in the second round. First off, the Boston Bruins were able to get a 1-0 lead over the Tampa Bay Lightning in this 4-2 matchup. Of course, the Boston Bruins would score a goal in every single period. The Lightning just couldn't catch up. Big game from their right winger, David Pastrnak. As like I just said, big win, much needed for the Bruins. And also for the Tampa Bay Lightning, their defenseman Victor Hedman would finish with 2 goals, with both of the goals for the Lightning, but it just wasn't enough. And the second game of the night, the Las Vegas Golden Knights were able to completely shut out the Vancouver Canucks 5-0 in that 1-5 series. Vegas Golden Knights right winger Mark Stone would lead the way with a goal and an assist, along with their other right winger Alex Took. He also had a goal and an assist. Not to mention their goalie Robin Lehner literally finished perfect yesterday, didn't allow a single goal in. But yes, they now take a lead over the Canucks as they now have a jump start on the second round of the series. Now looking forward to what's going on today in the hockey bubbles. First on, the New York Islanders and the Philadelphia Flyers have their game 1 tomorrow in this Eastern Conference 1-6 matchup. That's really been highly anticipated because the Islanders are actually playing kind of hot right now. And then right after that at 9:45, the Dallas Stars look to go up 2-0 over the Colorado Avalanche after beating them on Saturday in this 2-3 series. But that's everything that's going on with hockey. And last but not least, I'm going to jump into everything that's going on with baseball. And because the weekend series are over, I'm going to jump into the standings. Starting out in Dodger Stadium, the Los Angeles Dodgers were able to get their 22nd win of the season by beating the Colorado Rockies 11-3 last night. Ross Stripling will be their starter. He'd only allowed 2 earned runs in 4 innings pitched. But for the Dodgers, their hitting they would be the star of the show. Their elite right fielder, Mookie Betts, would finish 3 for 5 with 3 RBIs and 3 runs. He hit 2 home runs in the game, and now he's sitting on 11 in the season. Their shortstop, Corey Seager, would finish 2 for 5 with an RBI and a run as he hit his 7th home run of the season. Cody Bellinger, their elite center fielder, would go 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run as now he sits on, I think he's sitting on 8 home runs on the year. Additionally, their third baseman, Max Muncy, finished 2 for 3 with an RBI and 2 runs. Max Muncy's also sitting on 7 home runs. Will Smith, their catcher, hit his 3rd home run as he went 1 for 3 with an RBI and 2 runs. For Colorado, their right fielder, Charlie Blackmon, will go 2 for 4. And that would kind of be the story. But with this loss, the Rockies are now sitting at 13-15, and the Dodgers, like I just said, are 22-8. Going out to Candlestick Park, the San Francisco Giants hosted the Arizona Diamondbacks and were able to beat them 6-1 yet again. Which they beat them like that they beat them by the same score yesterday. The right fielder, Carl Yastrzemski, would finish 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run. Now he has 7 home runs on this. He has 7 home runs on the season. Their left fielder, Alex Dickerson, would finish 1 for 4 with 3 RBIs and a run. Now he has 3 home runs on the season. With this win, the Giants are now sitting at 14-16, and the Diamondbacks now drop to 13-6. Amazing start from San Francisco Giants starting pitcher Trevor Cahill. He would only allow 1 run and 1 hit in the first 5.1 innings as he struck out 8. He wouldn't really get the decision as Barriger would get Barriger would finish with the win for San Francisco. Now jumping on to the last NOS team, the San Diego Padres hosted the Houston Astros last night. We were able to beat them 5-3 off of a go-ahead 2-run home run in the 8th by Manny Machado to put them up 5-3. With this win, the Padres are now 18-12, and the Astros dropped to 15-13. For the Astros, they were second baseman Jose Altuve would finish 0 for 4 on the day. The left fielder Kyle Tucker would go 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run as he hit his 4th home run of the season. For the San Diego Padres, their elite shortstop Fernando Tatis Jr. would finish 2 for 3 with 2 runs on the day and a walk. Their elite third baseman Manny Machado would finish 1 for 4 with a run and 2 RBIs. Hosmer, their first baseman, would finish 2 for 4 with an RBI and a run. He had his 4th double of the season. Big win for the Padres as they were able to do it against the Astros. Now transitioning out to the AL West, the Oakland Athletics were able to best the Angels to be the second team in baseball with 20 wins, and they beat them in the 10th inning off of a sac fly from Mark Canha. Franklin Barreto would be the one that scored, and the Angels didn't score in the 10th, so the A's were able to run away with it. Starting with the Angels, their GOAT level center fielder Mike Trout finished 0 for 4 with a run and a walk. He struck out twice. Their elite third baseman Rendon would finish 2 for 5 with 2 runs on the day. For the Oakland Athletics, their elite third baseman Matt Chapman would finish 2 for 5 with a run and an RBI. He hit his 9th double of the season today or yesterday. Additionally, Canha would finish with 2 RBIs on the day. Like I said, the Angels dropped to 9-20. The Athletics are now 20-9. Now jumping out to Seattle for an impressive pitching performance, the Mariners were able to beat the Rangers 4-1 yesterday, led the way by their starting pitcher Justin Dunn, who picked up his second win of the season. He would only allow 1 hit and pitch 6 shutout innings, striking out 6 batters along the way. Kyle Lewis would hit his 7th home run of the season as the center fielder finished 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run. Seattle left fielder Sam Haggerty would finish with 2 RBIs as he had finished 1 for 3 on the day. That was his first as he hit his first home run of the season. Big win for Seattle. Now they're sitting at 11-19 in the AL West, and the Rangers now dropped to 10-17. Moving out to Cleveland, the Detroit Tigers were able to get their 11th win of the season after they beat them 7-4. Just good starting out pitching as the Cleveland Indians scored 3 of their 4 runs in the 9th inning. Last-ditch effort. Good performances from Bonifacio, who would go 1 for 5 with 2 RBIs. He hit his first home run of the season. And additionally, their shortstop, Niko Goodrum, finished 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run. He walked twice as well. And then Goodrum now has 5 home runs on the season. For the Cleveland Indians, Carrasco would pick up his 3rd loss of the season. And additionally, their center fielder, Greg Allen, would finish 1 for 4 with 3 RBIs. He hit his first home run of the season last night for the Cleveland Indians. With this loss, the Indians are now 17-11, and the Tigers, like I just said, are 11-15. Moving out to Kansas City, where the Twins beat the Kansas City Royals. They beat them 5-4. Bubic would pick up his 4th loss of the season. He's now 0-4. For the Minnesota Twins, Nelson Cruz, their elite designated hitter, would finish 2 for 3 with an RBI and 2 runs. His home run in the 9th would put the Twins up 5-3 to put it out of reach. So when the Royals scored, it didn't go to extra innings. Big win for the Twins. Now they're sitting at 19-10, and the Royals are sitting at 11-7. Going out to the last team in the AL Central, the Chicago White Sox were hosted by the Chicago Cubs. They basically just went all the way up to Wrigley, but the Cubs were able to best them 2-1 in a well-pitched performance. Cease would pick up his 2nd loss of the season as he only allowed 2 runs in 6 innings pitched as he struck out 5. Additionally, for them, their first baseman, I would consider him elite, Jose Abreu, finished 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run. He now has 11 home runs on the season. Moving to the Chicago Cubs, they were led by their starting pitcher, Yu Darvish, who would pitch 7 innings and strike out 10 batters, only allow 1 run. Well-pitched performance for the Chicago Cubs. And like I said, now Yu Darvish is sitting at 5-1 on the season. Their elite shortstop, Javi Baez, would finish 1 for 4 with a run on the day. Their left fielder, Kyle Schwarber, would finish 2 for 4 with a run and 2 RBIs. He hit his 2-run home run in the 6th inning would give the Cubs their 2 runs. Big hit for him. And with this win, the Cubs are now 17-10. With this loss, the White Sox are now 7-12. Now staying out in the NL Central, moving out to Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh Pirates swept the Brewers. Before the series, they had 4 wins in 21 games, but now they're 7-17. The Brewers now dropped to 11-15. Big performance, of course. Their designated hitter Gregor Polanco finished 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs. As he now has 4 home runs on the season. With this, like I was saying, just big win. And then jumping out to St. Louis, the St. Louis Cardinals were able to get the best of the Cincinnati Reds, as they're now a game over 500, beating them 6-2. Big performances from Yadier Molina, their catcher, who would go 4 for 5 with 2 RBIs and a run. Additionally, Carlson would finish 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs and 2 runs. As Carlson now has 1 home run. He hit his first home run of the season last night. Also, their center fielder Bader finished 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a run, as he now is sitting on 2 home runs on the season. With this loss, the Reds are now 11-15, and like I said, the Cardinals are now 9-8. Last but not least, jumping out to the East, because the Yankees and Mets series is postponed due to COVID, I'm just going to start out with the NL East. Moving out to D.C., the Washington Nationals were able to beat the Fish last night, beating them 9-3 after scoring 5 runs in the 5th inning. Anibal Sanchez would pick up his first win of the season, as he only allowed 1 run through 7 innings and he struck out 5. Even for them, their shortstop Trey Turner would finish 3 for 3. He even had a triple on the day. He finished with 3 RBIs and 2 runs. Big game for him. Adam Eaton would finish 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs. With this win, the Washington Nationals have as many wins as the Marlins. They're 11-14, and the Marlins are 11-11. They're now sitting at 500 in the NL East. Now going out to the National League East leaders, the Atlanta Braves were hosting the Philadelphia Phillies and lost yesterday. They still won the series 2-1, but they lost yesterday. Eflin would get the win for the Phillies, as he only allowed 3 runs through 5 innings. He struck out 6. This would be a game that went all the way down to the wire, that went down to the very last play. Freddie Freeman lined a double into the left center gap, and the relay eventually made it to Real Muto. Amazing throw from Didi Gregorius to get Dansby Swanson out at the plate. But regardless, the Atlanta Braves play really well. Their shortstop, Dansby Swanson, would finish 3 for 5 with a run. Their elite first baseman, Freddie Freeman, would finish 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs and a run. Marcell Ozuna would finish 1 for 4 with an RBI. And for the Philadelphia Phillies, first of all, their defending MVP, Andrew McCutchen, finished 2 for 5 with an RBI and a run. Pretty big game for him. Additionally, their elite right fielder, Bryce Harper, would finish 0 for 5 as he struck out 3 times. Real Muto finished 1 for 5. Didi Gregorius, their shortstop, finished 1 for 4 with an RBI and a run as he hit his 4th home run of the season. Alec Bohm, the third baseman, would hit his first career home run. For the Phillies, he went 3 for 3 with an RBI and 2 runs. Big game for him. With this win, the Phillies are now 10-14. And with this loss, the Atlanta Braves are now 16-12 out there. Moving out to the American League, showing you what's going on out there. The Orioles hosted the Red Sox in Camden Yards, and they were able to beat them 5-4, even surviving Boston's last inning rally. With this win, the Orioles are 14-14, and the Red Sox dropped to 9-20. For the Red Sox, Jackie Bradley Jr. would hit his 2nd home run of the season as he went 1 for 4 with 2 RBIs and a run. For the Orioles, the big player right here would be their third baseman, Rio Ruiz, who would finish 2 for 4 with 4 RBIs on the day. No runs, but still, big game for him. Just big hitting plays in the 3rd and in the 7th inning. Additionally, going out to the last game of the day, the Tampa Bay Rays hosted the Toronto Blue Jays and were able to beat them 5-4. With this win, the Rays are now 19-10 and the Blue Jays are 13-3. Strong pitching performance from their starting pitcher, Josh Fleming, who would pick up his first win of the season. He struck out 3, only allowed 2 earned runs in 5 innings. Just like I'm saying, good game. Austin Meadows would finish 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs and a run. It was mainly just him. Big game from Gurriel Jr., who'd finish 1 for 3, and Teoscar Hernandez would hit his 10th home run of the season as well. Those are the games yesterday. I'm gonna give you a glimpse into the new series that are playing, and then I'll just give you a glimpse of let you know what the standings are looking like entering this completely new week. So first, it is Monday Baseball. It's new series. First off, Tanner Roark is going to face off against Blake Snell as the Blue Jays take on the Rays at 3:10. Blake Snell hasn't lost. Casey Mize is looking to get his first win for the Tigers as they face off against the Cubs at 7:10. Kenta Maeda hasn't lost yet. He's looking to go 4-0 as the Twins take on the Indians at 7:10. Lance Lynn is also undefeated, so is Jesus Luzardo. The A's are going to take on the Rangers at 8:05. Trevor Bauer, the leading NL Cy Young candidate, is going to face off against Anderson as the Reds take on the Brewers. Both teams are 11-5. Jack Flaherty, one of my elite young pitchers, is looking to get his second win as the season as he takes on Brad Keller and the Kansas City Royals at 8:15. And Merrill Kelly is going to try to get his fourth win of the season as the Rockies take on the Diamondbacks at 9:40. Not a lot of crazy good games, but it's Monday. A lot of teams are traveling right now. And just to give you a look into the standings, where these teams officially stand, on Monday, starting with the East. Starting on the American League East, the Tampa Bay Rays have the best record in the American League East. They're sitting at 19-10. One game behind them are the 16-9 New York Yankees, who held the lead up until they held the lead up until they didn't play against the Mets. 3.5 games behind them are the 14-4 Baltimore Orioles and the 13-13 Toronto Blue Jays. Both teams are 4.5 games behind the first place Rays, and 5.5 games behind both those two teams are the 9-20 Boston Red Sox, who are 10 games behind the Tampa Bay Rays in first place. Going out to the AL Central, the Minnesota Twins hold that lead outright. They are 19-10. A game and a half behind them are the 17-11 Cleveland Indians. Half a game behind them are the 17-12 Chicago White Sox, who are 2 games behind the first place Twins. 4.5 games behind the White Sox are the 11-15 Detroit Tigers, who are 6.5 games behind Minnesota. And a game behind Detroit are the 11-17 Kansas City Royals, who are 7.5 games behind the first place Minnesota Twins. Going out to the American League West, the Oakland A's hold the lead outright. They are sitting at 20-9, the first team in the American League to 20 wins. 4.5 games behind them are the 15-13 Houston Astros, and then 4.5 games behind them are the 10-17 Texas Rangers, who are 9 full games behind the Oakland A's. Half a game behind the Rangers are the 11-19 Seattle Mariners, who are 9.5 games behind the Oakland A's. A game and a half behind the Mariners are the 9-20 LA Angels, sitting in the bottom of the AL West, 11 games behind the Oakland Athletics. Now moving on to the NL East, the Atlanta Braves hold that lead outright. They're sitting at 16-12. 2 games behind them sit the 11-11 Miami Marlins. 1 game behind them are the 12-14 New York Mets, who are 3 games behind the Braves. Half a game behind the Mets are the 11-14 Washington Nationals, who are 3.5 games behind the Braves. And half a game behind the Nats are the 10-14 Philadelphia Phillies, who are now 4 full games behind the Atlanta Braves. Going out to the NL Central, the Chicago Cubs hold that lead outright. They're sitting at 17-10. 3 games behind them are the 9-8 St. Louis Cardinals. 2.5 games behind them are both the 11-15 Cincinnati Reds and the 11-15 Milwaukee Brewers. Both those teams are 5.5 games behind the first place Cubs. And 3 games behind them are the 7-17 Pittsburgh Pirates, who, after sweeping the Brewers, are now 8.5 games behind the first place Chicago Cubs. Going out to the NL West, the Los Angeles Dodgers hold that lead by themselves. They're sitting at 22-8 as they have the most wins in baseball, and they have 5 more wins than the Chicago Cubs. 4 games behind them are the 18-12 San Diego Padres. 4 games behind the Padres are both the 14-16 San Francisco Giants and the 13-15 Colorado Rockies, who are both 8 full games behind the LA Dodgers. And half a game behind both those two teams are the 13-16 Arizona Diamondbacks, sitting in the bottom of the NL West. With that said, I appreciate everyone for listening to all 35 minutes of this piece. Once again, it is Monday, August 24th, 2020. This is The Elite. I'm James Sims. Thank you for hearing my piece, and peace out.